It is the Riot Podcast. This is the Thursday, February 23rd edition. Let's keep this quick. I don't know if I can deal with you guys much longer.
Are you done with us today?
Yeah, I think I've had
All
enough of
right.
you.
Way to be grateful. Way to show gratitude.
That's fine. Well, I don't know if it makes it into the podcast, but happy National Chili Day to you then.
Yeah, it is. I need to get away from you guys and go enjoy some chili.
You can go home and make some.
Yeah, I got to get started on that quick.
We also talked about some laws that you would make that aren't current laws.
I feel like that moved on to, I didn't get that you guys were power hungry with some of your laws, but it felt more like I just want it this way and there's no other option.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is the laws we're not maybe supposed to do.
That doesn't sound, we've reduced a lot of freedom if we did that. I just think when I was doing that, I was just like, well, if we do that, we might as well do this type thing.
It's a slippery slope.
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We also talked about a guy who is so desperate for a date and wants to put so little effort in, he's willing to pay $10K.
I don't know if he's desperate, though.
Sounds like he is if he's willing to pay for that much money.
He's
Yeah.
delegating.
He's
And it
willing to
sounds
just
like-
toss $200 for a date.
First off, he also sounds like he has money because he's in New York and he's willing to
Yeah.
spend all this money, but he just doesn't want to chat a lot. He's too busy.
You know how you make all that money is probably working a job on Wall Street or something. Although not now, but
He's a money guy?
Yeah, he's busy working, and so he doesn't have time to. He can't be seen at work messaging on Hinge.
Yeah, but then that's a red flag, though, because then if you go out with him, he won't want to talk with you.
Sounds like he's not ready to date anyway.
No.
He can't even
It sounds like
prioritize messaging you, let alone he doesn't even have time for a date.
It sounds like a great relationship. You go on a date and then
And you never see him again.
Yeah, like then you guys go do your own thing and you leave each other alone most of the time. It's a great
True.
relationship.
Well, if you are looking for someone and you don't like chit chat and you'd just rather be left alone, or if you never want to text your partner, there's a guy in New York who's a possible candidate.
We also talked about some bagels banned from the military.
Yeah, banned was a strong word, but they are strongly discouraged now. A certain type of bagel that you're no longer supposed to have. And I taught Nikki about Wizard of Oz a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I saw the movie, but I don't recall old movies like you do.
What do you mean you're sure you've seen
I'm
it?
sure I saw Wizard of Oz somehow growing up. But like, can I tell you the story outside of the shoes or whatever? No, probably.
The ruby red slippers.
Yeah.
What do they need to follow?
The golden path.
I do. No, the yellow brick road. I do know
The
that.
golden path.
Actually,
Same deal.
I don't think you should play this game because he might know less than me about
Yeah,
it.
probably.
I think he got the golden path, which is kind of
Yeah.
close.
No,
It's
I
pretty
remember.
close.
I remember I saw one thing and I totally missed out on, is it the wizard guy or whatever?
Yeah.
I didn't even know any of that stuff. I just thought it was just the road stuff.
You thought they never found the wizard? It was called Wizard of Oz. They never find him?
Never. I thought it was just always going after him.
And what happens to the witch?
Oh, she crumbles.
Crumbles?
Now he's just making stuff up.
She burns.
He's just answering.
She melts.
She melts.
Yeah, but you just got that because you're just saying verbs.
Because she was in the sun, maybe?
Nikki,
that's
do you
a
know the
vampire.
right
Okay, so
answer?
is she not okay? I thought wasn't someone crushed by a house?
Oh, yep, that's what
Was that
happens.
the witch
I
or
thought
was
she
it the other
melted.
one?
That's a witch.
Oh, there's more than one.
That's the
There's
witch of
more than
wit-
one witch.
witch
That's
of the
why the
East.
other witch is so upset.
Oh.
Oh, that's her
the
storyline?
Wicked Witch of the East gets crushed by a house, and then the Wicked Witch of the West is upset about it.
Okay.
And then she,
Melts.
spoiler alert for this almost 100-year-old movie, the witch eventually gets water dumped on her accidentally, and she melts.
That's all it takes.
Remember her going, I'm melting? You don't remember that.
Well, no, I do now. Again, you know, like iconic things from it, but just not the story around it.
The one dude was
It
low
doesn't
on
sound like
oil.
you did know the iconic
the
things
Tin
from it, though.
Man,
The Tin Man.
Yeah,
WD-40, that jazz. He
Do you
needed
know what all the things they needed were?
a heart?
Who needed a
Courage.
heart?
Courage.
I don't remember who needed a heart. Somebody needed some bravery. I think the lion needed that. Somebody needed some oil.
Yeah.
That was the Tin Man.
The Tin Man.
Then there was another
He
character.
also
The
needed a heart.
Scarecrow needed a heart.
What did-
Aw.
no, the Scarecrow needed a brain.
A brain.
Who
Gosh,
needed a heart?
The Tin Man.
Oh, I thought he needed
did
oil.
need oil, but he wasn't on a quest to find oil.
I know.
Listen, I didn't say we want to watch it because you're making it feel like we're
But
watching
now
it now.
I've seen the whole movie.
Yeah. This is why I can't. This is why we have to end the podcast intro, because I can't deal with you
We're
guys that
making you
haven't
mad.
seen one of the most historic movies of all time. You can't remember it.
What's
Nope.
the main character's name again?
Dorothy.
Dorothy, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I was
Never
thinking
heard-
Alice, but then that's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Similar.
Also, don't recall any of that.
See, that's a movie that I've seen, but I think the newer version.
It's so crazy that you make fun of me for being uneducated, the homeschooler, and you guys.
I think
That's
you
because
just.
we were at
Wonderland.
school, you were at home watching movies.
Alice in Wonderland is like required reading.
I don't remember that. Maybe for you.
And it was a Disney movie, and you still don't know
I
it.
saw the
Nope.
Disney movie. I think I saw the new one.
Which one is that?
Like I said, the live action one. You know.
Oh, was that
The card thing, right?
Yeah, so they did a live
Is
action.
that Johnny Depp?
Or was that
Tim
Charlie and
Burton?
the Chocolate Factory?
Tim Burton?
Maybe.
I
All
think they're
right.
both.
Listen, we
Either
can
way,
just-
we're digging deep.
we can keep going. We're gonna leave
The
you
rabbit
guys.
hole.
I think you guys need to. I mean, I'm not a big reader, but I think you guys need to go read some books.
I'm thinking watching movies.
Yeah, I mean,
Something.
Maybe I'll do that during my shift
Yeah.
today.
all right,
During work.
let's go.
I'll put a stamp of
everybody.
approval on
That'd
that.
be great. I say Annie needs to watch some movies today. Get that done.
You
Knocked
guys
out.
have a wonderful day. Don't let us bother you with all stuff that we haven't read or watched or don't remember any of it while Hudson remembers line by line everything. Make sure you text and say hi at 877-2-RADIO-U or join us at Radio U Riot. We did a Krispy Kreme food fight. And so that, if you're watching our video podcast, is the video before this one. So just go watch that too.
All right. And join us tomorrow to find out what other pieces of American history Nikki and Isaiah are familiar with.
American
Oh, I think we'd
history.
make you so mad
You
because our
would.
lack of caring.
It's all right.
See you guys.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
American Girl has added a couple new dolls to their historical collection.
Did they send this press release to you?
No, I found this.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
always keep up on the new American Girl
On
dolls.
the dolls?
Yeah, I just call them the dolls, but they're really not dolls to me. They're more friends. I like to think of them that way, as people I can talk to and bring with me to do fun things.
That's
like
a lie. None of us can afford this
get
stuff.
your hair cut, go to the zoo, that type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Spend some time in the Hamptons. That's what I like to do with my American Girl doll because
so
I have
there's-
that kind of money.
There's new ones?
There's new ones that are they've been
I just got
added
the Hamptons.
to
so
the
yeah.
to the historical collection. But that's why people are having a little bit of a freak out moment here because the two new American Girl dolls as part of the historical collection, 90s themed,
For the historical one?
as in 1990s.
I mean, it is historical, but maybe that feels like it's a bit harsh of a word for.
Yeah.
Because it was saying the collection also features like from the
1700s.
From the 1700s.
Uh-huh.
So
But
wide range.
All the way up to 1986 previously.
true,
So,
that's true.
you know, they're just anything that happened in the past is history, which is technically true, and that's how American Girl
Oh my gosh, I'm one of the
sees it.
twins. It's Nikki.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh my gosh.
Isabel and Nikki
It's me.
are the new American Girl doll twins
Straight
from
out of the
90s.
1990s.
Looks like they are Seattle based. They're it's supposed to be in 1999 is like what the aesthetic they're going for. And so
What are my accessories?
a purple inflatable chair.
That's nice.
That's very 90s.
Oh, how funny. A desktop computer.
Uh-huh. Yeah. A Pizza Hut book it program.
Did you see
If that isn't the 90s.
People are also talking about, if you scroll down, there's a Pizza Hut collab with American Girl
yeah,
accessory
this
set.
really feels like a big Pizza Hut advertisement.
If you ever went to Pizza Hut, and I think there's still a buffet one that's north of us.
Uh-huh.
I think they still use them, but it's these red cups that they have. You can
Yeah.
get that for your little Nikki doll.
I used to have some cups that are very similar to that.
You stole them from
yeah,
Pizza Hut?
Well, they wound up at a Goodwill, I think, and you see them and you're like, well, I have to have that because it's so nostalgic. But I'm looking at all the design of this, and this is definitely, there's definitely some girls that babysat me when I was a child that
That would have
that
this
had
sort of
all
stuff?
this. They dressed like this and had that smiley face pillow on their bed. Uh-huh. Yep, that sounds about right. That looks about right. So they did capture, I think, the 90s American Girl doll aesthetic pretty well. It's just kind of tough, you know, for those who maybe lived during this time. Even to me, you know, I was very
To already
young.
be a doll.
Yeah, to be a part of the history, to feel like you're ancient history at this point
Yeah.
in the eyes of American Girl. That's a little tough.
There's even a mock Tamagotchi digital pet.
My
But those
gosh.
came back for a while. Like those were still
Yeah.
popular last year.
Well, everything about the 90s is kind of made. I mean, the Book It thing came back, so it's all cycling its way back in, and I'm sure
Well,
the American Girl dolls will only increase that.
Let's hear about me. Mine is a skater-like clothing, a
Oh,
gray
skater.
T-shirt underneath a blue T-shirt dress. I've got a flannel top tied around my waist, and I have a baseball hat that would never have happened. Black sunglasses, yin yang necklace, and a messenger bag. That's me.
That's that. I mean, you listen to Avril Lavigne, and that you've completed the whole 90s deal, right?
That's
there.
my 90s doll.
They knew what they were doing at America. They must have had some people that lived through this time.
I guess.
Yeah, they must have. But that's out there now. But I don't want you, if you do remember all of this stuff, I don't want you to feel too bad because it's still only barely 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Barely over 20 years.
You're in the age when a doll happens.
Yeah, but if you grew up in the 90s, then the 90s now are like what the 70s felt like to you when you were growing up, which is bad.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
So the Oscars coming up, that is March 12th, only a few weeks away. And the question on everyone's mind is, will there be another slap at this year's Oscars? That's really going to be the big, as we get closer and closer, the big thing that everybody talks about. It's less the movies because it's not been as good a year for movies.
Well, that means they're going to lean heavily on it, or, well, the host, like the only jokes they make will be about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. But as far as the Oscars go, although it was great for ratings, they don't want another incident because it's so controversial. They don't want an incident of that nature again.
Why don't they put like a fence in front of the tables? And then that way there's like a stopping point, and then there could be a little door.
How
so
about
if,
this?
If you win, you walk through the door.
Oh, that could work.
And then go up on the stage.
In baseball and hockey, they have netting that keeps like bats and balls and pucks from flying into the stands. They could have netting in front of the stage so that the presenters are safe
that way
from
you have
flying hands.
And it's not like it wouldn't of course they could get through, but it would stop them long enough to be like, hey, why is the person at the net?
So that Chris Rock could make a run for it. Well, that's maybe options that they've explored, the Academy has, but what I can tell you is for sure is that according to the CEO of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, that's Bill Kramer, he announced that they have, quote, a whole crisis team that they've assembled to work on scenarios that they feel could play out at the Oscars so that they can be prepared for what they do if something like that were to happen again. Now, how I read it is they're going through the scenarios, not so that they could, stop it from actually happening, but so they know how to react after it does happen.
Yeah, because, you just can't tell how someone will act. And they also said that they would like the Academy to be a little bit better about maybe saying if a joke is wrong to do to start a problem. So kind of be a bit more in control over the people that are presenting.
That sounds like it'll make it boring.
It's already boring. I don't know what you're
It's
watching.
not boring.
The Oscars
It's
are
a lot of
boring.
fun. It's a good time. It's a celebration of film.
Nope.
And it's some of our greatest comedians like
it's so
Wanda
boring.
Sykes and whoever else was there, Amy Schumer.
No,
did she host?
it's awful.
The greatest comedians, and they come together. And we just have a great
say
time.
the same jokes.
Unless Will Smith shows up to ruin it,
Wow.
which he's not allowed.
You can watch, but the rest of us don't like to watch it.
It's going to be a great time, and this time with no slaps involved, as far as we know. And if there is a slap, they'll know what to do afterwards.
You almost wish that it would happen.
Somehow they didn't know last time.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
This is so interesting. The United States military, the Department of Defense, it's the Pentagon, they have issued a little warning here to anybody serving in the military that there's a certain type of food that they're going to need to stop eating.
Oh, you can't have any more?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's banned, but they're saying definitely avoid this. And the food is anything with poppy seeds.
Oh, for drug tests.
They
Yeah.
are cracking down on saying they are experiencing a lot of issues with drug tests coming back positive. Urinalysis
A
is coming back.
codeine positive.
Yeah, because, it could be because of codeine, but it also could be
The poppy seeds.
because people are eating poppy seeds in the military. And you might think poppy seeds are something that don't cross your mind too often, but they're a part of some very important food groups. Basically, anything with everything seasoning.
Oh, you're right.
Includes
Everything with
poppy
the bagel
seeds.
seasoning.
Yep. So obviously everything bagels, but now people like to put that everything seasoning in. I put it in
That's on everything.
burgers. Yeah, you can put it in. They don't call it everything for nothing.
Wow, I forgot that was in there because, outside of that, we're not having poppy seeds too often.
Yeah.
But it's been known for a very, very long time that poppy plants produce an opium sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be cross-contaminated onto poppy seeds. And so then when you cook or bake or use them, not like use them, but, like eat them,
Yeah.
then you can get a positive drug test.
That's been a thing going
been
back
forever.
to that's what happens in Wizard of Oz.
It does?
Yeah, remember they go through like the
I don't
field of
remember
poppy.
Wizard of Oz.
They go through the field of the poppy field.
Nope.
And then they all like pass out or whatever in
No,
the field. You don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
You don't they can see the castle.
No, it's not
They're-
helping
They're
me.
all happy. They're
Listen,
prancing. The
it's-
scarecrow.
It's not helping
You
me.
know the characters, right? The
I do at
scarecrow,
least know the characters.
the lion, and they're prancing through the field, but then they all faint in the field.
Oh, I didn't know it was from that.
It's poppy seeds.
Didn't know.
But then it's come up in many forms of entertainment throughout the years of poppy seeds throwing off your drug tests. And
I just always thought people who failed their drug test just be like, but
It
wait,
was-
I eat poppy seeds.
I had a poppy seed bagel today.
So they get
that
more time.
explains it. But yeah, but that's right though. So it's weird that now in 2023 either there's been an uptick in tests or
Oh,
for
I
some
think
reason
it's-
they just thought about it.
No, I think it's totally because of the everything but the bagel seasoning.
You think so?
I think that's something that people use a lot more, and you just, again, don't
You think
realize poppy seeds are in it.
A lot of the servicemen and women are
Love it.
stopping off at Trader Joe's.
Yep.
And, well, this just shows, again, why I couldn't be in the military. This is the last straw.
You'd fail that test?
I'd never cut it. They wouldn't let me in because I'd fail the test. I eat too much
He just
for the
can't.
bagels.
He cannot give up that seasoning.
That's more important than serving my country.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
Good question in this morning, and you can always text a question in for the show or anything you feel like you need to say at 8772 Radio U.
Try a compliment this morning.
Sure.
Something nice.
That's always good. Or you could chime in with your answer to this question from Latavius, who says, what is something, if you could make a law, what is something you would make law?
Oh, gosh. What a
Yeah.
what a question.
What a
Assume
great
that,
question.
What are we, the president? We could cast an executive order or something?
I'd go ahead and change the time change stuff. I'd go ahead and change
yeah.
that.
It's an
Good
easy,
idea.
quick and easy, and that's
Mm-hmm.
relevant coming up. So what would you make it so that when we set the clocks forward in a couple weeks,
It'd be that
would
we'd
stay that way?
like that forever.
Yeah, I like the way you're thinking with that. What about you, Isaiah? You got any?
There's so many different things. Another one that's kind of like a time thing. I would say no big sporting event should start past 9 o'clock p.m.
Eastern?
They have to be, or whatever time Nikki would like to
by
choose.
then? Okay.
Has to be like start before then. So I'm looking at like a 10 o'clock or so ending for most of those big games. I can't be staying up till midnight.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Actually, that'd be good for not just, obviously that's relevant for morning show folks, but I think that'd be good for everybody. Children, they got to get up for school. They miss so many things. Think about all the sports that kids miss out on.
They could grow up with.
Yeah.
What about mutual combat?
What?
Mutual combat?
Not gonna have it?
That should be a thing.
That
Like if
should-
two
Mutual
people
combat.
decide that they want to fight, there should be no repercussions.
Oh, so like as long as they both agree.
They both agree, like whatever
What a
happens
weird
here.
one.
We need that. We can
Is
just
there
battle
like
it
a
out.
waiver that you just have?
You
that-
just, it's like a gentleman's agreement. You just shake hands.
No, it's the same waiver like when you want to eat the hot wings. So it's
Yeah,
probably
there's-
not like
it's gotta
legal,
be-
but it's there.
It's got to be in writing, or else, because I've watched enough of the court shows to know that they would be like, if you don't get it in writing,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't count. It's a verbal agreement, doesn't count. And so then one of the guys would get beaten to a pulp, and he'd be like, I didn't agree.
I never said that I could make it this far.
Is there someone you're feuding with?
No, not for me. I'm just saying, I think if people want to battle it out, they're more than welcome in my neck of the woods. I think also social media, I think you should have to sign up with an ID. That way you can't have all these fake accounts.
Why are you laughing at that?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm amazed he's having all these ideas.
He's been thinking about this.
Are you going to sneeze?
Are you running for
I was
office or
close.
something?
I was close. I was close.
He's rubbing his nose.
I was close. What about you, Hudson? Do you have any?
Since you guys got me thinking on the time thing, what if we had a national time zone?
National
I
time
think
zone?
the time zones are confusing, annoying.
Makes travel terrible.
Yeah, why is it easier? I think it'd be easier for just people to adjust to the sun setting and rising at different times. And just if you're in California versus Michigan, you'd have different schedules. But, you already have different schedules, even with the time zone. So I think it's just confusing for everybody, the entire United States. One time zone. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
One. I don't know. I might get my time change thing through first before yours.
I think that would help with jet lag and stuff. So when I'm doing all this traveling and stuff like that, I think it would really help.
You're not traveling.
Maybe I would if I didn't have to worry about so much jet lag.
That is true.
Oh, yeah, that's what's keeping him. It's the jet lag.
It's impractical is what it is. So I would put, I'd just probably put a lot of caps on fees.
Yeah.
If speaking of travel. Not just with, obviously airlines.
How about
and stuff.
ATM fees? We got to get rid of those. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How about cash-only businesses? We got to get rid of that. Why are you only taking cash nowadays? It's 2023.
I think that's okay.
You think that you have to go to the ATM, you have to take on the fee, and then you have to go and you have to give them cash. That's the worst.
That's because they're hiding something.
Yeah, clearly. If I go to the barbershop, answer me why every barbershop I have to pay in cash. You guys seriously can't take credit card? That's ridiculous.
Well, have you
can,
seen
but
the cash registers they have?
Well, I don't know why they haven't upgraded. They had it's 1970 still.
And they don't want to pay the fees.
I don't know a lot about haircuts, but what I do know is if you go to a barbershop that has that takes card payments, bad barbershop.
It's not the right one.
Nope, they're gonna give you a bad haircut, I think. So I think capping out a lot of the fees on just all kinds of things when you're buying tickets to stuff.
Ticketmaster, I was about to say that.
Yeah, I take them down is what I do. 8772 RadioU if you got something.
Wide choice of laws we put into effect.
See if you can come up with something. I'll keep working on it. We'll keep working on it.
So what was his question?
Latavia says, what is something if you could just make any law, something you would make law in the United States? Or locally, I guess. 8772 RadioU. Text in with your answer.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
Let's do some lawmaking. This is a question from Latavius who texted in and said, if you could make one thing law, what would it be?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of things texted to us are not appropriate for back on air.
Unfortunately.
You guys have some real strong things you put into effect.
Some people take real serious.
I think you're upset about a lot of things. And then it would be like, wow, okay, that's a law.
Yeah.
But I will say Abel was mentioning.
I guess that's why we're not all politicians.
This is why we can't make laws.
Yeah.
Abel was saying everybody's headlights on all cars are the same height, no matter the size of the vehicle, and the same brightness. I get you on the brightness, but yeah, if you have a shorter car and then there's a taller car behind you, it just goes right in.
Yeah, but they make the little thing for your rear view mirror so you can flip it down.
Okay, well, Abel.
So that helps with that.
Abel, look, he's made
flip
it.
what
Look,
down?
so there should be you know how you have
a tall
your rear
car,
view
Isaiah.
We
We don't get
Yeah,
them.
that probably doesn't happen to you.
Truck,
But you have a rear view mirror, and then on a lot of the rear view mirrors, it has a little tab underneath it. You just pop the tab.
When you see someone's lights in, you just
somebody's
leave it
lights
on?
are shining, and then you just
can't
pop
see
it.
out of your rearview
No, you
mirror?
can see. It just changes the angle a little
Got
bit,
it,
so it
okay.
changes what you see a little bit. But I mean, how much are you looking in your rear view mirror when you're driving at night?
You're supposed to
anyways?
check it every
when
5
you're driving
seconds.
forwards, you're looking in your rear view mirror. I think you can flip the tab.
That's always a hard one for me when you see someone coming and you're like, are those blue lights or what did we
What's going on behind
what
me?
did we
that's
do with
right.
those? But yeah, you mentioned you want them all the same brightness.
Maybe
How about car modifications in general against the law?
you're against them.
I'm against them a little bit, I would say.
Like if it's too loud or
I would say too loud, too big, too wide, any of that jazz.
You want every car to look exactly the same.
I would say we just don't need it. And you know what? It's not that I'm saving myself from you. I'm saving yourself from spending unnecessary money. You're welcome.
Wow, that's what this country is built on.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
In Isaiah's world, it's not a free country anymore.
I just think and then you've got the trucks that have the super bright lights on the front of them, and so if you drive by those at night, if you've seen those recently, you're going off the road. You're blind at that point.
The bright lights are tough because
you and Abel need to be friends.
I'm just saying. I think that it would help us all if everybody just had normal cars. You know?
How about we just have one standard vehicle for the entire country?
This is why we don't make laws, guys.
Gray,
We're ruining it.
And they all look exactly the same. They're the same shape, same headlights, and everything.
Okay.
I think. What if we all could wear the same clothes?
Okay.
Yeah, like a jumpsuit maybe. It could be gray.
Kind of like how we had if you were in high school, a lot of people had uniforms.
Yeah, your school
Yeah, so
uniform.
similar to that. And people do that already because you go to work, you have a uniform that you're wearing as is. When I go to Krispy Kreme here in a little bit, they're all going to be matching. So everybody, you wear uniforms more than
a country uniform.
You could if you wanted to. I think so.
Not a country, a United States uniform.
Yeah.
I think that we have gotten off track on some fun laws we wouldn't mind just putting in place.
But if we did have a United States uniform,
but Nikki, thank you for that. But back to my previous point.
No, I just thought
of the subject.
Instead of making it a gray jumpsuit, because that seems so dystopian, like such a scary future. Instead, it could be more fun though. It could be like American flag pants,
sure,
and an American flag shirt, and a bandana. That's an American flag.
Is there an eagle on it, or
yes?
Okay,
there is.
All right. Well,
that's only for the leaders.
Listen, both you guys, we got your possible laws down as some
Any other good ones, everybody?
No, I think you guys came up with.
We got enough.
I think you guys came up with beautiful.
What about
ones.
one law that you would take off the books if you could?
All of yours.
That probably would have been a good question too, Latavius.
Save it for another day.
What's one law you would get rid of?
Yeah. Let's save that one.
Be a dark road.
Absolutely fine to talk about in the future.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
I've got a job opportunity for you guys. Really, I think any of us could do this. It is a guy in New York City. Let me just read you the ad, actually. I'm seeking a soulmate, but first, I'm seeking a Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah, the one thing.
Uh-huh. It says, me, a 30-something guy with a good Hinge profile, but a low motor for messaging. You, a witty banterer that loves the apps. Us, the most unstoppable force on the New York dating scene. You'll be paid a commission. $200 if you can get him a date.
Okay.
With your messages.
Oh.
$2,000 if it becomes an official girlfriend situation.
Okay.
And $10,000 for a wife.
So you're the one messaging back and forth?
You do the messages, or I think that's what it is. Because it's not really realistic, right? For him to send you the message and then, okay, what would you respond? And then you
probably have his login.
Yeah,
you
so
just log into his account.
Hinge, and then you just set up like, hey, I've been talking to this gal for a while. Can you date whenever? And then, yeah, it works out. So, what do you guys think?
You know what I think I would do?
What would you do?
I would get a friend to scam him.
Nikki!
So that you get the money.
Nikki would get one of her girlfriends to go on the date with them.
That's real good.
So, you could totally get the $2,000. We're not taking it to wife thing. You're not marrying the guy unless you fall in love.
Well, why not? For $10,000.
For $10,000, just too tempting.
Yeah, but that's actually a brilliant idea.
So I feel like that's a possible outcome he needs to be aware of.
Isaiah or Nick, if you have a lot of friends too, you could maybe you could make more money instead of getting him one girlfriend. Get him to go on a bunch of dates that never work out. Just
people
tell
that
all
you
your
know.
girlfriends, $100 for you, $100 for me.
Isaiah, do you feel like the messaging part is usually the give or take part where it's just not going to work out? Or,
yeah, I think so.
That's the hard part?
I think the hard part is just getting him on the dates. But it just depends on obviously he doesn't have pictures of his profile on here.
Mm-hmm.
If it did, I would be able to tell you how hard this would be, but he has no photos on here, so we can't tell.
Well, if he's willing to pay $10,000 if you can get him a wife, he's probably got some money, right?
Yeah, but like the whole profile, that's the big thing,
He's
though.
probably got some pictures where he's looking like
Now,
he's got
they
some money.
said he's rather attractive. But the thing
Who is this they we
he's-
speak of? Because if he's willing to pay
His mom.
10K,
His
I
mom.
feel as if maybe he's not.
They said that he can't be bothered to do the whole
Yeah.
messaging thing, and he wants someone to take care of that part.
Do you ever find that? Because that's the thing, right? Going on a date is fun. If you don't enjoy messaging or whatever, you don't like that back and forth, that can be time consuming, right? Plus, that winds up being a lot of wasted time for people that it doesn't work out with. So, what do you think about that? Don't you think?
I think it just depends how you do it, how you do the whole messaging thing. Because I think when you get on Hinge, you should just be very straightforward. That's how, at least for me, that's how I've always been. If I match with you on Hinge, I'm gonna ask you on a date because I don't really want to do the whole messaging thing. If we message for 2 weeks, if we message for 2 weeks, we could have great chemistry online or whatever, and then I meet you in person, and either you aren't exactly what I thought you were going to look like, or maybe we don't have the chemistry I thought we were going to have, and so I just wasted a month texting you to find out that we don't click in person. That's just how it goes. So I think for me, I don't really waste a lot of time on the apps. I'll just ask you if you want to go on a date. If you want to go, we can meet up for coffee or something, and if we have good chemistry, we can go from there. But I'm not going to spend all day texting somebody to find out we don't have good
Well, that's
chemistry.
what he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
Now, they are saying, it's $200 he'll pay if you message and get him a date, $2,000 if she becomes your girlfriend, $10,000 if she becomes your wife. You have to share evidence of what sort of writing style you have, and so people are just concerned he'll just take all that and use that all for free.
Yeah, but
So we'll see what he does.
We all know this, right? You can't use copy paste stuff in messages with women and get away.
It
like
can
you
get you
can.
started.
You can copy and paste.
you
I'm
can use that
telling
as a
you.
first message. You can't continue a conversation to get to a date doing copy paste stuff for very long, I don't think. But obviously, people are seeing the other issue of what if the messenger, as in, let's say Isaiah was writing all the messages for this guy, and then he just steals the gal.
I just steal the date.
Like which is what happens in Cyrano, which this guy referenced even. So I don't know what the whole deal is.
Well, if you like to write or use one of the, the chat bots, you just want to make a quick
That's an idea,
$200, go ahead.
Well, I'm hearing another money-making opportunity, and that's a dating app where you don't message, you just swipe right and left, and then when you match with somebody, it just tells you to set up a date.
Yeah, okay.
It just says, here's the location.
Yeah, that's good.
Location, you guys pick a time, boom, that's it.
Instead of Hinge,
Confirm.
it's Hudson.
It's probably already a dating app, and nobody uses it for some reason.
It's an old one.
The Riot Radio U.
You guys have been a little grumpy. I think I need to cheer you up.
I think we're tired.
I think you need to cheer yourselves up. So I have here the 4 habits of happy people.
Where's your woo at that or your...
Woo!
There it is.
Boom.
That's one of them is
that's it.
wooing.
The boom.
Wooing and booming are one of the keys
You
to
got
being a
to hype
happy
yourself
person.
up,
All right, you ready to hear? It's not just one study. It's like a amalgamation. It's several studies put together, and that basically all put together to find that these are the 4 basic areas you want to focus on to become a happy person.
So it's a big study because sometimes they'll just take from everybody else's studies and they'll make one massive one.
Yeah, all right. That's exactly what we have here. So number 1, move your body. Now, you guys kind of got that nailed, right? Nikki, you're doing 10,000
workout.
steps a day. Isaiah, you hit the gym. You've hit the gym every day since the new year, right? I get up and off the couch sometimes. So I think we've all got that one taken care of.
We've got that nailed down.
But yeah,
as a show.
But don't you think sometimes that's what makes you unhappy? Like, if you got to go do a workout or if you're not to your steps for the day.
I
that
think
makes
it's when you
anything-
finish it, though.
Then you're happy.
Once you finish a
Yeah.
workout, that's a good feeling.
And anything you do on a routine basis will at times make you unhappy in the moment. This is wise right here. Listen to the wisdom that I'm coming up with. Anything you do every day will some days make you unhappy when you do it, but in the long run, it all works out.
Okay, well,
best.
right now it seems like every day.
So
Happy, but I'll take your word on it.
move your body is habit number 1 for a happy person. Number 2, prioritize connection. You need to actually make time to talk, listen, share, and have fun with friends and family.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's probably
good.
one that I think a lot of people, if you're missing out on happiness, that's probably a big one where maybe you're not, and it might not be necessarily a fault of your own, but maybe you're just not having enough time to spend with some friends, to talk to people.
That's what I need. I need a best friend who will go work out with me, so then I don't hate it as much.
There you go.
Isaiah?
Well, we gotta run on different schedules.
You don't want to go with me. That
and
will not
Nikki,
be fun.
Not a good time for us.
I think I'll hold you back. So I'll let you just get out of that one.
All right, number 3, practice gratitude.
That's important.
Yeah, this is, you got to think about things that you have to have an optimistic mindset. Honestly, this could kind of be considered lucky girl syndrome, right? You tell yourself you're lucky, good things happen to you, and then you start to feel like things do. It's kind of the flip side, but I think they both are getting at the same idea of you start being thankful or having a different mindset of, hey, things aren't that bad. And then things aren't that bad.
So that's 3 out of 4?
Yeah, or if you want to practice gratitude, a suggestion is the 3 good things intervention. You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's where you literally
I'm a realist, so I haven't.
For each day, you go ahead and say, what are 3 good things that happened to me today?
Okay.
Even if it's a bad day, you can probably find 3 good things, right? We already had the Krispy Kreme Reese's remix.
You're right.
So that's 1.
Would you look at that?
And the day,
Wow.
so it's still such a young day.
Oh my goodness, we have so much to look forward to today.
Yeah.
It's National Chili
What a happy day.
You might be able to find more than 3 on some
Really?
days. And then
I can only handle 1 more.
all right, 1 more, and
One
this
more.
is an easy one. Spend time with your pets.
Well, that happens.
Yeah.
Trash take. My
You don't
pet
think so?
stinks.
Yeah.
He only brings me pain and sadness.
But you would miss him if it wasn't there.
But you know what?
would.
You've been so busy running around that maybe you're just not making enough time for him, and it's making both of you unhappy.
No, I've actually been happier seeing him less as of late. It's caused less stress on my body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're going to win a lot of fans talking
That's
like that
fine.
about a dog on the
That's
radio.
fine.
Wait a minute, though. What do I need to do with my dog? Because my dog is medicated to be happy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, he needs
So
a...
he should be easy to spend time with.
No, because it doesn't work enough.
I don't know. I think it's just maybe you just need different pets.
Okay,
That's
that
probably
could
what
be
it comes
it.
down to for you two
No.
guys.
Maybe a fish.
They do make you happy. No, I had that. That was miserable.
Even worse?
Oh, I
Or
hated it.
Nikki, maybe you just have too many.
Too many pets.
many
Yeah,
pets.
and
Yeah.
Isaiah, maybe you don't have enough.
I don't have enough.
Uh-huh.
I think I needed 1 more dog to pee in my bed this morning.
Is that what
would
he
have been.
did?
He did right before I left.
Well, I can bring you one of mine, and they'll teach him. They'll
that'd
have
be
Jim
great.
all ship shape.
That
All
would
right,
be
well,
preferred.
I've given you the 4 tricks to being a happy person. Now you can't blame me if you're upset.
I'm thankful and grateful that you shared that with us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Hudson.
All right, so practicing gratitude. Most importantly, be gratitude-y to me.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.